Hey, everybody, welcome to this Xbox Live episode number 538, titled Mix It Up. This is a show about Xbox, about gaming, about appliances, about car washes and waxes, um, household products. I don't know. Mainly,
House.
mostly gaming, mostly Xbox. I am Rob, also known as Presar on Xbox Live, and with me, as you just heard him there briefly, is my best buddy, my good friend Wingman 709, aka Mr. Mark, also known as Your Highness sometimes, Your Majesty,
Your Royal Highness.
Your Royal Highness. I'm sorry.
Get it right.
Please don't put me in a dungeon for that.
Welcome, hey everybody. Wingman 709 here.
Yes, episode 538, where every show is like the first one with
Yeah.
technical stuff. It's so fun, so much fun. But we do it for you, right? Is that right, Mark? We do it for the fans.
Well, we don't do it for the fun of it, that's for sure. We certainly don't do it for the money. No.
Yes. Hey, could you try lowering your gain a little bit? I just noticed the output was kind of high. We were dealing with
So,
microphone stuff. That's this for like the past half hour on
so is
Mark's
that
end.
better?
Yeah, I'll just drop you down a little bit. I'll do it on my end. We'll figure it out later.
I'll put it
Anyway,
back basically to where it began.
okay, it's still kind of loud, but we'll work with it. So, a couple quick things. Listen to us live on Twitch, Mixer, and YouTube Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Also, we are not affiliated with Microsoft or the Xbox in any way. This is a show being done by fans for fans of the Microsoft Xbox. The views and opinions expressed on the show do not reflect those of Microsoft. So, what have you been playing lately? I think I know the answer to this.
This is the part where everybody's going to start skipping this section of our show because they're going to get tired of hearing the same thing. But Gems of War and Fortnite Season 10. So I do want to talk about Fortnite a little bit. I know I don't want to turn this into the Fortnite show because I know people, not everybody enjoys that, but I know some of you out there do. But I will think we'll talk about this in a minute after you share what you've been playing. But because I kind of want some well, I guess it doesn't matter. We can talk about it. What else have you played? Let's just do that.
Okay, so I played Clash Royale. I have to throw that out because the new Pass Royale started just the other day. So it's season 2 of their, whole battle pass kind of rip-off thing that they've done. I actually like it quite a bit. I like the new format. What kind of stinks is that it's $5 a shot. So I'm actually thinking now that they're probably gonna get me
Just
for,
milking us money.
yeah, they're gonna be milking $5 a month because the last season was like 35 days and now it was like 29, 30, something like that. So it was a couple days less. And like a sucker, I'm gonna pay my $5. I'm sorry, I
You
just have to.
bought it.
Now there's
So
there's lots of good loot in it. So
can you
yeah,
can you see that screen?
sort of. Let me switch
So
over. Hey, hold it back up there. Um
so level 2, there's like a lightning bolt.
yes.
What does that do? Because when I click it, it does nothing and it just goes to the next item.
So
What is
that's
that?
that's a strike. So Mark is talking about in the Pass Royale that some of the things that you get are strikes. And what that does is when you open up a chest with each strike that you have, and it builds as the season progresses. So in the beginning, I don't think you have any, then you get one, then two. And what that does is it lets you strike out one of the things in the chest and get it replaced with something else. So,
Okay.
for example, if you don't want arrows because you never use them, you can strike that one and you'll get another card of the same rarity.
Okay.
So
That makes sense.
it's nice to have at this point. I'm at I'm level 13, which is the highest level, and there's a lot of cards that I'm maxed out on. So for me, it's kind of nice because at that point I can just, get rid of the things that I don't want or that I don't benefit from.
Right.
So that's that. But yeah, I've been playing Clash Royale. Good times. Been playing that one for a solid 3.5 years. It's like the only mobile game that I really play. The Asphalt 9 Legends that I mentioned, that's still pretty fun. They had a season that's just ending now too, with the Syndicate is what they call it. But I did get a little bit of Fortnite in, so I will delve into the Fortnite talk. But that was very little because this past weekend I ran out to Gen Con, and so I was out there. We recorded the last show on Tuesday, and then we left Wednesday morning to go to Gen Con, and we were there through Sunday. So Gen Con is the big gaming show. A lot of board games, RPG, Dungeons and Dragons, that kind of stuff. So it's mainly like tabletop gaming, with a little bit of video games in there as well. There is a room with video games and arcade games, but primarily it's at least my interest is in the board and the card games. So I went out there with my son and we some friends, basically a buddy of mine and his kids, and it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. A lot of walking. Do tons of steps each day, and everybody was sleep deprived. I got to give big props to the kiddos that are, surely still recovering from the exhaustion that we put them through. Because every day there's lots of walking. Get up early, go to the show. You walk all day, and then you go to the hotel room late at night, go to bed, repeat the next day. So you know how kids are when they're tired and cranky. Well, it's even 10 times more when the kids are exhausted and cranky. But they handled it really well. I got to give them big props because there's so much to see, so much to do, that it sort of distracts you a little bit from all my feet are aching. Oh, I'm tired. Well, being old guys, my feet were aching. My back was killing me. It's amazing how much walking around hurts your back. Just being in
Yeah.
that upright posture doesn't feel good. Ugh.
And we're used to sitting in our rears all day.
Yeah, I know, right? And hunched over, where
Yep.
the your upper body is in a nice curve towards like the keyboard or whatever.
Yep.
But it was awesome. Got some pretty cool stuff over there. Got sucked into some of the early releases. There's a really cool game. Just I'll talk briefly about it because I know not everybody's interested into the board game aspect. But Fantasy Flight game.
Funkoverse, right?
Yeah, didn't get to that.
Oh, that's right. You
Yeah,
skipped that one.
no, didn't skip it. But well, maybe I skipped it. But
Mm-hmm. Can't do one little favor for your buddy.
yeah, yeah, we're getting some dropped frames. That's pretty cool.
Yay!
Yay! Thank you, wherever it is that's dropping the frames. But one of the companies, Fantasy Flight, is releasing some new Marvel games. So Fantasy Flight has had Warhammer for a while, then they lost that license. Then they went really heavy into Star Wars with card games and miniatures games because they only acquired licenses for those two, card and mini games. But they got apparently the license for Marvel. I guess that goes hand in hand with having the Star Wars license because they're both Disney, right?
Yep.
So they're coming out with two games. One is a miniatures game that, I mean, it looks cool, but the minis games really aren't quite my thing. I haven't really done a lot with them. I suppose if I try, I'll enjoy them. But they are coming out with a game that is a card game that's pretty cool. You get in there, you get Tony Stark, well, actually, Iron Man. You get Spider Man, Captain Marvel, and She Hulk. Those are the four characters that you get in the base game. And what's kind of cool is the characters have an alter ego as well. So you can be Tony Stark, and then you flip the card, then you're Iron Man. So each of those, like Spider-Man is Peter Parker on one side, so you can flip back and forth, and you're fighting a villain. The game was pretty cool. I actually got promo cards for demoing it, which was kind of cool. But the game doesn't come out until later this year, so I can't do anything with my promo cards until then. So it was a little bit of a tease. But the game's pretty cool, and there were a lot of other cool games. Picked up a game called Black Angel, Sierra West. Let's see what else. Um, Tiny Towns was a pretty fun game from AEG, and my son really, 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 really liked Can't Catch Harry, which is a game based off of a kid show, these little moths.
Hmm.
And it's pretty fun. It's a cool, exciting family game, I guess is a good way to put it, where you're playing cards as fast as you can to the table, and then you grab moths, these little figures, as fast as you can when you reach a certain combination. So, but yeah, that was Gen Con. Everybody's exhausted, still recovering, and I am feeling the first inclinations here of con crud. So,
Uh-oh.
so yeah, my throat's getting kind of scratchy and not feeling so hot. So we'll see what happens with that. I may be extra um, froggy next week. We'll see.
Hmm.
That's about it.
All right.
Your turn.
Well, I want to, like I said, I wanted to talk about Fortnite a little bit. And season 10 has come out, and there was, I don't know how it is on all prior seasons, because season 9 was the first time I've gotten involved, and it was pretty exciting. And I was looking forward to season 10 just to see what's going to change. Like what does a season in Fortnite look like?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because games that I'm used to playing, the season pass is just like new content, new maps, new, like whatever, there's new
Yeah.
content.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't sure how a season was going to be in a game like Fortnite that is essentially it's been the same island the whole 10 seasons, but the island has changed, and it looks like there's a story going on
Yes.
that I'm gonna have to probably look on YouTube and go back and watch like all the live events from season 1 all the way up to try to figure out what's going on, because like my son knows all this stuff, and he's talking about stuff. I'm like, what are you talking about? And but it was interesting to watch. I was looking forward to it, and when the day it went live, I hopped on and watched the little video. A lot of it didn't make sense to me because I didn't have the experience of the previous 9 seasons other than the one. So I guess there was a lot of things in there that were showing from previous live events. And the map didn't, I wouldn't say it changed, but there are things going on. Like there's that
Yeah.
meteor that's coming down over Dusty Divot, I think it is. It's just like hovering there. Um,
Well, that used to be Dusty Divot, and prior to that, it was Dusty Depot, which is the three
okay.
warehouses.
Oh, so the depot is there.
Yes, that's back.
Okay,
There's
so it's Dusty Depot now, right?
Yeah, there's a couple of buildings that were around in the first couple of seasons that got basically wiped out. For example, by the craters, by the
Okay.
meteor or whatever that struck. So Dusty Depot was three warehouses, the three buildings,
Yeah.
and then when that got wiped out, the crater became Dusty Divot.
Okay.
And
So
and
yeah,
actually,
the depot is there.
in the first game that I played of Battle Royale with my son, we landed in Dusty Depot. So that is forever special to me, that building, those buildings. And we actually got annihilated right away, and then he didn't want to go back there anymore. It's funny.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
cute.
So there's that big meteor that's there. The live event that ended season 9 with the robot fighting the beast that came out of the water.
Yep.
The bones, the beast bones, I call them. They're there, but now there's all covered in grass and flowers and stuff like that. So It's kind of getting grown over. It looks kind of cool. You can run around on the bones and stuff. The I don't know if you saw this today or because I think it changed today. Neo Tilted is gone,
Oh, it is?
and yeah, it's now called Tilted Town, and it's in a bubble, and you go in, and it's an old west town, like a ghost town, like an old west ghost town.
Oh,
But
wow.
you can't change it. You can't build in the town because I guess because of the bubble that's over it. So you can't. It's just like it's almost like the other area where the vortex was, where there's a bubble there, but you go into that bubble and it's like zero gravity. So you can jump and kind of keep gliding or floating around. So that is over there by the vortex, and now Tilted Town is there, which is a ghost town, like an old west town. Um, the block has changed, and I guess the block changes every week.
It does, yeah.
But right now, I guess my son was saying that there's a lot of stuff over there in the block that are from previous seasons. Um, Something about an ice cream shop, and then there's like a water slide, and there's all these different things over there, I guess, that represent different seasons. So I don't know what's all going to happen. They've added mechs, which I seriously don't like.
Right.
And it seems to be sparking a lot of controversy. It seems like a lot of people are not happy with well, what do they call them? They don't call them mechs,
Brutes.
brutes, but it's a two-person mech that you can jump into, and they drop randomly in the match, and you can run up and get into it and be a driver and a gunner. So there's two spots in this mech, and and they're very overpowered. They're really hard to take down. Um, and I don't know if they're gonna stay. I kind of almost predict that they're gonna be gone quick, not because everybody's complaining, but because the very first set of challenges is our brute challenges, and they only last another day. And then those challenges, I guess, are I don't know. Do those challenges do they expire or go away? Because it says it's only like 2 days left or 1 day left.
Yeah, so what I'm thinking about this, and I haven't researched it or anything, but previously they had all these challenges that came out every day. So you would get a new challenge every day and you could bank up to 3 of them. And for each of those you would get 5 stars towards your progression. So
Okay.
the dailies are gone. And what I think that they did is they got rid of the dailies and they replaced it with this weekly challenge. So I'm thinking that they're going to get rid of the brute challenge when it ends and it's going to be replaced by something else that's going to last
Right.
another 7 days.
Okay. Yeah, because there's a bunch of stuff. It shows all the different. Like before, we had 10 weeks of challenges that would unlock in week 1, week 2, week 3, and it looks like they're kind of set up for that again. Because you see a whole. I don't know. I didn't count them, but there's probably a good 10 weeks worth of stuff there that's still to unlock. So, but my question was, yeah, so you got to finish the brute stuff this week. So, if someone jumps in late, like next week into the season pass, then those are gone. They have no ability to get those.
Yeah, it's like the daily challenges. You know, if you have no daily challenges and then you don't play for 3 days, you'll max out at 3 and
Yeah,
then you won't get any more
right.
beyond that. So, it's kind of the same thing, but you're
So,
basically getting 7 days worth in one lump.
so if the brutes are going to go away, or if the brute challenges go away in another day, so what? I guess they would go away. So we probably got Wednesday, and then Thursday would be the new week. So we've got tonight and then tomorrow to finish the brutes. So I'm wondering if on Thursday, if those brutes are going to disappear from the game,
It's very possible
and if that
cuz
was the plan, or if they're going to take them out because there's been such a uprising over it. I mean, even I guess the quote professional Fortnite players are not happy. Like even they're struggling with these brutes. And I've watched like I think well, wasn't I with you yesterday? And I was getting mad because I like we have to get in. There's a challenge to get into 5 brutes, and or I was trying to get the kills in a vehicle, but they took all the vehicles out of the game, and the only way to do it is to be on the hoverboard, which I struggle with trying to kill someone while I'm on a hoverboard, or get in a brute as a gunner. It didn't count if you're a pilot and your gunner kills someone, you don't get the credit. So I was trying to get in the gunner spot, and people kept jumping in and like self-destructing them. Um, like just trying to get rid of them. It's
Right.
like that was their goal. It's like people hate them so much they're not even playing the game. They're just trying to destroy these things so no one can use them. So I mean, thankfully we completed everything we needed, but it's frustrating because like people aren't even playing the game correctly because there's so much disdain for the mechs.
But, there's been vehicles in the past that they've taken out of the game. Like there's a golf cart. It's called an ATK, I believe. That's gone now. That was around for a little while. And there was an airplane, the Stormwing. That one was another one that people kind of complained about. With the Stormwing, you had a person that flew it, and then you can get a couple people to jump onto the wings,
Uh huh.
and it shot also. And there's a bunch of challenges for it. And I want to say those didn't last a full season, or maybe they just only lasted one season. Actually, what they, I think,
That game mode, there was a game mode with the planes where you had it was a duos where one of you flew and the other person was on the wing. That was a lot of fun. But I don't know about having that in Team Rumble. I think that would really kind of suck, just like
yeah,
the Max.
yeah.
So
Who knows? I think it probably won't survive the entire season. They'll probably take it out, and it would be interesting to see if they pull them at the end of the week, at the end of the challenge as well.
yeah.
Because they're trying new stuff all the time. Some stuff works, some stuff doesn't. Like weapons, for example. They've put weapons in and then pulled them out an hour later. That's
Well,
that's
there's a new weapon in the game today, the automatic sniper rifle, and I am very happy to have. I'm very grateful that that dropped.
how does that work? Does it like
uh,
shoot a couple of bullets at the same
it's
time?
like it's like no, it's like bam, 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 and there's like no bullet drop. So the challenge of getting those kills from 100 meters or farther just became a lot easier.
Nice.
Because I was sitting there like, okay, okay, I'll go above his head, and then it's like, oh, it still landed 50 yards in front of him. You know, it's like trying to get that, figuring out how the bullet drop is for the bolt actions, and the automatic shot straight and true, baby.
Very nice.
so, and it was yeah, boom, 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 boom. So I was just sitting back today, just like almost like an assault rifle, just boom, 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 reload, boom, 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 boom. And I was
Nice.
nailing people and getting sniper kills. I was like, sweet.
See, I wonder if that'll
So,
mess me up because I'm used to compensating for the drop. So I wonder if I'll just be totally off because
aim for the head.
yeah, well, literally aim for the head.
Yeah. So, well, if you get
Okay.
the automatic one, just you should notice it didn't drop. It didn't look, because like you can see your shot and it drop when you're using on the other ones, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what I noticed today. I was like, whoa, there's no drop on this thing. So I don't know if that was intended or if they're gonna fix that. Um, Maybe it's just an unintentional, for the new weapon.
Or maybe they'll issue one of those server side patches and
By the time you
just
get in, they'll
adjust it.
probably have a bullet drop on it.
Yeah. And I'll be like, oh yeah, perfect. And you're like, no, they did
It's
it
all
to
right.
me again.
I'm not a fan of sniping. I Assault rifles and shotguns are my two favorite in that game. That's
Yeah.
typically what I run around with.
Yeah.
Um,
When you try to do sniping, it really slows the game down
yeah,
because you're kind of sitting there just scanning. I mean, it is kind of fun. I enjoy the sniper games like Sniper Elite
yeah.
and all those because it's a different style of game. It's more like sneaky and
But
try
it's
to
hard to
catch.
find. Not many people sit still in this game,
Right. Usually,
and
don't.
so it makes sniping really hard.
Usually, the only people that you wind up getting if you're like honestly sniping for a while is basically people that are healing out in the open or somebody
Yeah,
else that's sniping.
exactly.
Everybody else runs around too much. And I've gotten some kills, where somebody's running, but people have learned to jump a lot.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, so as they run, they just jump, 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 jump. It's not a rhythmic jumping, it's just random, or at least it should be. I'm sure some people just do it at a rhythm, but that keeps you from getting shot, at least in the head, as easily. But yeah, the first week's almost done, and we're almost on to week 2. And I'm really surprised at the progression this season because normally in like the first week, you don't even get up to like tier 10 in the battle pass, but now it's like we're all like what, near 20?
20, 21.
Yeah.
My son is 23 or 24. Yeah, and that was another thing too. People were complaining like, "Oh, it's so much harder to gear up." And I'm like, "It's been a week and I'm tier 20 or 21." So it's like doesn't it looks like I'll be able to hit at this rate I'll be able to hit tier 100 and with, probably within 5 weeks max. So about halfway part. So I don't see that I know the prestiging challenges, which I think is new
Yes.
because it wasn't in season 9. So now when you go through a block of challenges, some of them have the option to prestige those challenges. And so you complete it at 100% and you prestige it, and it opens up new challenges, which are harder. And I got one right now, and I did complete all of the road trip. No, not the road trip, the other one. Forgot what it's called. But there's one I did do all the regulars and all the prestige. On the road trip, I've done all the regulars. I prestiged it. I got one left prestige to complete to have it done. And it's hit 10 named areas in a single match. I'm like, how am I going to do that? You have to find one of those boards, those hoverboards. You're going to have to find it right away and just go.
That'd
Just
be
try to go. Just,
it, yeah, previously when they had the Stormwing, those things were super easy
yeah, it's
because
not
you would
this.
just
No, they
fly
took,
over the area.
yeah, they took everything out.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the mechs are too slow. You can't use those. The only thing that's left is the hoverboard. And even those aren't that fast.
But
And to hit 10
if you,
is going to be
yeah.
just rough.
So the thing is, if you need
And
to
there's
hit
not
it
that
in
many
a
hoverboards.
right, you need to hit it in a match though. So if you go into Team Royale, you can do it, um, across the whole match. The only problem is getting the ones in the corners. Like if
You
the
mean Team
circle,
Rumble?
yeah. Did I say something else? I meant Team Rumble.
You said Team Royale.
Oh,
I wasn't. So I was
I
wondering, are you
meant
talking about a different
no, no.
mode?
I
But
meant Team Rumble.
Team Rumble. Okay. Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to do. But whew, it's hard because by the time you find a hoverboard, the circle's already closed in.
Yep,
So like the last match, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna drop. I'm gonna hit the outside. I'm gonna just do my best to get to go kind of around on the outside, and then as it closes in, I can try to hit stuff inside. But you can't do it running. And if you don't find a
no,
board right off the bat, you're just not going to make it. So it's going to be one of those finding a board or knowing where one spawns and getting to it right away and then just running, ignoring weapons, ignore all that, and hope that no one's shooting at you.
yep,
Because I also put that on party assist and it doesn't seem to work because it only counts when I'm at the spot. So other people on your team visiting the different areas doesn't make a difference. So,
that's why it's a prestige, I guess.
huh. Even though the party assist option is there and I turned it on, it ain't working.
Yeah.
I'm having a lot of fun in the game.
Oh yeah. And they also added some stuff, some notable stuff too, also to save the world. The road trip event
Yeah,
is
I tried
back.
that. I tried that.
The road trip event is back. One of the best sniper rifles in the game, if not the best, is now researchable. So it's the Obliterator, and this thing can shoot through walls. So it's an
Nice.
amazing gun for defenders. But the Obliterator, you can research it if you don't have it. So basically, it just costs you some legendary flux. Um, oh, and they took the emotes and a couple of things from the battle royale side, and you can now do them like you can do all your dances and stuff like that in Save the World.
Yeah.
And the one dance that was exclusive to Save the World, Ride the Pony, is now in Battle Royale if you have Save the World.
Yep.
And let's see what else. So I think those are the main things in Save the World. Um, yeah, yeah, I think it's enough Save the World talk for now.
Enough Fortnite talk.
Yeah, Fortnite, Save the World for now.
For now.
Yes.
All right.
Do you have anything else, or is that it?
No, no.
Okay. So a couple quick things before we get on with the roundtable. Make sure to subscribe to us on Twitch, Mixer, and YouTube. Not only are you going to get links to all of our shows as we record them, but you'll get notifications as to when we start recording. And then if you're a Twitch Prime user, you get one free subscription. So you can choose any show on there, give them basically a subscription, and it helps benefit the show a little bit. And just I guess one way to put it is I saw this on another stream. Why support a millionaire? support
Exactly.
support the up and rising people, up and coming. So we
Make
definitely,
us millionaires.
yeah, well, hardly, but that's one great way to support the show, and it's much better than letting your subscription lapse every month. Then
Yeah.
also another great way to support the show is through Patreon. You can patronize us, I guess, or be a supporter of this Xbox Life on Patreon. You can find that at thisxboxlife.com/Patreon, or just search for us on Patreon. It's not expected, not required, but definitely appreciated as it helps defray the server costs and stuff that we pay every month. And also, you can leave us a tip at thisxboxlife.com/donate. So, you ready to get rolling with the roundtable?
Let's do this.
Let's do this. So, first thing, we talked about this briefly last show on episode 537, where there's a brand new uh, controller coming out
I
that
lost you,
has.
Rob.
You lost me how? Can't hear me? Then that is definitely a Discord thing.
It might be on my side. It looks like I lost connection to the mixer chat too for a second.
Can you hear me again?
I can hear you again. It
Okay,
might have
good.
been on my side. Sorry.
Yeah, it was all you.
It's all
So
me.
so last show we talked briefly about a brand new controller coming out that had the Gears of War 5 or Gears 5 theme to it. And it looked really cool. It looked like kind of like marble or some kind of
Yeah.
rock. And it had, some cool lines, looked sort of military ish. And it's definitely one of my favorite controllers that I've seen to date. And this week they announced that they're also coming out with a similarly themed Xbox. So it's a limited edition Gears 5 console. Have you seen a picture of this, Mark?
Yes, it looks cool.
Oh, it looks amazing. So it's got a similar style. The console has a similar style to it, just like the controller. And then it's got like I don't know what the best way to put this is. It's that gear logo of the gear, I guess, with the skull in it, kind of.
Yeah.
So it's like that Gears logo gear is smashed through it, and then you kind of see a skull like fading behind it. and it looks pretty sweet. Looks pretty sweet. The controller is going to be available, looks like separately for $75. And there's also a charging stand with the same design for $50. And the console itself is an Xbox One X,
It better be.
not an S. And it is available for pre order for $4.99. And Gears releases next month. I don't have the exact date on it. So I'm assuming that it'll have codes. Yeah, actually, it will have codes. The console will have Gears 5 Ultimate Edition, Gears of War Ultimate Edition, Gears of War 2, Gears of War 3, and Gears of War 4 included. So that's pretty cool. So it's not just a $500 console with a fancy paint scheme. It's got some pretty good darn games in there. What? It's got one, two, three, four, five titles, along with the fancy controller.
The
Then
console just looks really cool.
oh yeah. So the only thing you'll be missing is the $50 charging stand, which you'll need to get separately. Oh wow, and it looks like separately there's a Gears 5 headset and a Gears 5 Razer mouse and keyboard set available as well. Oh, and a Gears
Beautiful.
5 2 terabyte Seagate hard drive. So that's a lot of Gears 5 stuff for you.
Yep.
If you're a fan, you might want to pick it up.
I love how the charging stand even like is it lines up like the design and the I don't know the paint scheme flows onto like lines up with the charging stand.
Yep.
You know, it's just it looks really good. A lot of thoughts gone into this one, and they should. You know, I mean, it's a marquee title. It's an exclusive. It's cool to see something like that.
Yep. Very well done. I hope this is the start of like a new set of controllers and design for them. Is if they keep doing this kind of stuff with games in the future, well,
We're gonna be broke.
we'll be tortured with buying new hardware all the time.
Yep.
So yeah, that's that. Then another quick thing, just wanted to mention is there's a new game coming out, Decay of Logos. I think that's how you say it, or Logos, something like that. It's a Zelda-like game. A lot of people that have the Switch love the new Zelda games, and this is a similar style game. Maybe that's their selling point. It's like, hey, we're like Zelda, buy us.
Yeah.
But it does have definitely that style, look, and feel to it from what I've seen. So, it matches the Zelda Breath of the Wild style gaming. We'll basically need to see if it lives up to it. But it's been on display at the shows for the past couple of years, but it's finally coming out on Xbox and PC on August 30th. So you might want to check this out if you like Zelda games, the Zelda style. Personally, I wasn't a huge fan of like the 3D Zelda games. I liked the more like A Link to the Past, the top-down view
Yeah.
from the old Super Nintendo and the like. But I guess I haven't given the new one a chance. But we'll see how this goes. All right, and then another new game that is releasing today, or should I say it released today, is Planetfall or Age of Wonders Planetfall. So Age of Wonders is a hit game from years ago. A lot of people really love it. It's made by the publisher that did Cities Skylines and Surviving Mars. So they've made some pretty good games in the past. But Yeah, Planetfall released today, so you might want to pick it out. And apparently, it runs. It can run at 60 frames per second, and XCOM like combat, all that good stuff that people enjoy. So you might want to check that out, see if it's something that you might like. Then we just had E3. What 6 weeks ago, something like that.
Sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
about that.
7 weeks ago. It was mid June. It's now almost mid August. But Gamescom is the next show, right? It's going to be in about 2 weeks, week or two. Let's see. I think it starts on the 18th or 19th, something like that. So yeah, about 2 weeks away.
August 19th at 8 p.m. CEST time,
Is
2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and 11 a.m. Pacific Time.
Oh wait, no,
That,
no. The show runs from August 20th through the 24th.
well, this is the, but this time frame, there's going to be a show. It's going to be what are they calling this? Opening night live, and that will be feature world premiere content and announcement from more than 15 publishers.
Yep.
So it's something that they haven't had before, and that's the time of that show.
Right.
So 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 11 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time on August 19th.
Yes. And so this is like the show of sorts. They're going to be showcasing content from more than 15 publishers, and then one of them is going to be um, Xbox Game Studios, from what I read, and it's going to include others like 2K, Activision, Namco, Ubisoft.
Sea of Thieves Season 2.
Oh, please. They can't do that.
Just for you, Rob.
Yeah, more Sea of Thieves. But one thing notable here is that as of right now, Nintendo is missing from the list. So I don't know what that means, good or bad. And I'm not sure that Sony's on there either.
They probably ran out of cardboard.
Okay.
Get it? For
Maybe.
Lapo.
Yes, I got that. So we'll see.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
No, nothing?
No, nothing. We'll see what happens with the show. It'll be out in 2 weeks. And then after that, I think there's nothing for a long time. I think the next big show after that is what? The Game Developer Conference in March, something like that. Or one of the
I think
PAXs, maybe.
Tokyo Game Show. Well, PAX Prime is coming up here September, early September. So unfortunately I didn't get tickets, but I may go down there and grab a scalper ticket or something. Last year there were so many people out there selling them, and you could get them for face value. So
Probably just people that bought them from friends and they bailed.
no, these are professional scalpers.
Oh, okay.
They're everywhere though.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Then this is kind of interesting where Halo Reach is what's supposed to be joining the Master Chief Collection on both consoles and PC. But it looks like the console version is going to be delayed, possibly indefinitely for the time being, because they have a cross game progression system that somehow is supposedly eating up all of the Xbox One's internal system memory.
uh-oh.
Ruh-roh.
I'm Rory Roach.
Yeah. So it's what, 8 gig
Yeah.
on the regular Xbox One and 12 on the X. And this thing just gobbles it all up. So
Or programming maybe?
I don't know. That's they're doing something wrong. I don't know if it's a memory leak or if they just have to do it differently or something like that. But yeah, they're basically on hold for the time being while they work this out. So right now, it's up in the air as to when that's going to come out.
They'll get it though.
Yeah, they have a little bit of motivation, and I think, you know, with the Halo game that's coming out, maybe that's a deadline, right?
Could be.
Maybe they have to get it out before then or something. I don't know. But then,
I would think you'd want it out before the next one comes out.
yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
So then switching back to Fortnite talk. Now this is where everybody's like, "Oh no!" There's a hiccup with the Fortnite Season 10 release. Did you hear about this, Mark? And it plagued the Xbox One specifically.
No, I did not.
So Xbox players were having performance issues with, or rather, stability issues with the game, and Epic Games posted that to temporarily fix this, people needed to unplug their Kinects. And this is where I can say that probably wasn't a problem for a lot of people because they already had their Kinects unplugged. But that was an interesting thing because, right, they said something like previously they announced, Microsoft did, that the Kinect somehow used 10% of the processing power of the Xbox to do its thing, right?
Uh-huh.
And that if you unplugged the Kinect, that would potentially release those CPU cycles or that performance back to the system. So I would guess that what happened is they had some kind of glitch in their coding, and then their quick solution was to get those extra CPU cycles by having people unplug the Kinect. At first inclination, I think people really think it's like, oh, there's a problem with the Kinect or something like that. No, it's got to be their coding, right? It's got to be their coding in something, and then removing the Kinect out of the picture is just like a quickie fix for them.
Yeah. I don't even have mine hooked up anymore. When I moved, I didn't even bother hooking it
Yeah.
up.
You can turn on your own Xbox, right? You don't have
Yeah.
to say the words or just hit the controller. That's what I do. I just hit the
I've had to
controller.
manually take my own screenshots.
By holding the controller button and hitting Y to take a screenshot
Oh
instead of just saying, take a
no.
screenshot, Xbox.
Oh,
So,
oh man, that's funny. And then one more sort of Fortnite thing. And this made the interwebs all ablaze in the
oh
gaming
yeah, it did.
community. That's where Ninja, probably the biggest streamer of Fortnite content on Twitch, made the jump to Mixer. And I was really surprised by this. I'm like, oh man, what did they do? I just, because right away I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, what did they give him? What kind of deal did Microsoft ink with this guy? How much money they paying him?
Lots of money.
How long of a deal is it? The guy already makes like, or at least last year he made like 500,000 a month. So I'm sure that's declined slightly, but still, it's a ridiculous amount. I mean, that's 6 million a year for a game streamer. And
I think I'm worth it. I think I'm worth it.
yeah, you should stream Gems of War.
Don't think I'll make much money with that.
Yeah. But yeah, this guy who's actually local here in Chicago, yeah, I believe he's up in Grays Lake. He had 72% streaming market share, apparently, something like that. And he jumped to, oh, I'm sorry. So 72% is not what he had. 72% is how much Twitch has of the streaming market. So he left there to go to Mixer, which has just about 3% of the market share. So there's a lot of stuff that you can speculate about this. And, first of all, you can see this as being like, hey, Microsoft is trying to lure people over. They're trying to grow Mixer because, when Microsoft picked it up, when it was originally Beam, right?
Right.
How much has it really grown? I mean, I think it's grown a little bit, but it
I
hasn't
think
really taken off.
I thought it probably did quite a bit, but
Yeah.
oh,
Because, they're competing with YouTube, they're competing with Facebook, with Twitch, and I'm sure there's some kind of probably streaming service in China, right? It's probably unique to them. But, it's not only that they're trying to grow the service, but there's speculation as to, you look at Ninja's roots. He started off in Halo, like Halo Esports, I believe it was. And then, he played a bunch of games and then, jumped into the Fortnite bandwagon along with everybody else about a year and a half ago. So there's speculation as to they're bringing him over not just to grow Mixer, but with an upcoming Halo launch, he might be the spokesperson. So not only does he have a hook to Mixer, but he might have a hook into Halo, again, which is how he started. It might draw people into Halo from Fortnite, fans that he had
right.
in Fortnite, which there's millions of them, that they'll come over and play the new Halo game, Halo Infinite, which is coming out in just a little bit over a year. So it's an interesting move. I'm curious to see if he stays, if he goes back. Only time will tell, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think the interesting thing is what I don't understand. Like people are getting mad at him for like switching.
Why is that?
Oh, because you went to Microsoft and you're abandoning Twitch. Who cares? Name one person that stays at the same job or works for the same company their entire life. It's like these streamers, like it's weird. Like people feel like, oh, they're on Twitch, so they're dedicated, and that's where they're going to stay because they're Twitch. It's like people have this brand. Uh, I don't know. I guess like us, like if we say anything bad about Xbox, people get all bent out of shape about it. It's like we like the platform doesn't mean we have to accept or we're not happy 100% of the time and accept everything. Like people change jobs. This is no different. This guy moving to Mixer, he's just moving to a new employer because they're paying him better. But that's what everybody in the world does. So it's just I found it so idiotic and showing how ignorant people are that people are getting mad at him for making the jump to Mixer. Who cares?
Yeah.
Platform doesn't matter. Follow your content maker wherever they're at.
Exactly.
It's like it's just so yeah, but people act like this is like, oh, how could he person for going to Microsoft? No one would care if I said, hey, I jumped from McAfee to Semantic. No one would care. Like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, who cares? People do it all the time. I work for McAfee and we have people we lose people all the time to Semantic, to Trend, to Sophos and CrowdStrike. And guess what? We get people from all those same companies coming to us.
Absolutely.
It's just you go where the to enhance or improve upon your career to make more money for new opportunities. So people out there getting bent out of shape over it need to pull their head out of the sand and grow up. Like the guy, this is his career. He doesn't care who that you're watching him or that he's going to lose people on people aren't going to come over and watch him because Microsoft's paying him. It doesn't matter, people. You
Yep.
know,
Oh yeah.
it's like, there is another world outside. It's just back in the day, it was Ford versus Chevy. Now it's Apple versus Android, Microsoft versus whoever, everybody, right?
Sure. Sure.
Google versus Amazon or something. It's just everybody's they pick their horse and that's it. And they gotta, you can't, how dare you leave them or say anything bad about them? It's like, come on, people.
Yeah.
That was just one of the things I thought
Yeah.
was just kind of weird. It's like the guy just changed employers and you can still watch him for free. It doesn't impact you other than maybe installing Mixer app, which did become the number one downloaded app.
Yeah. I was just gonna mention that.
It jumped in the iTunes or the Apple Store to the number one downloaded app the day they announced it. So he did have some impact, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But if you're watching, it doesn't matter. Like if you're watching him, if he's on Twitch, you can only watch one person, right? You're only going to watch one streamer at a time,
Mm-hmm.
and you can be logged into Twitch and Mixer and watch another Twitch and him at the same time. It doesn't matter, people.
Yeah.
It's just whatever. I don't know. So you
Yeah.
subscribe
It's just
to him
funny.
somewhere else. You just change your subscription.
Yeah.
Cancel it one there and move it over there if you want.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just
Go try Mixer. Maybe you'll like it better.
I like it a lot better myself.
Mm-hmm.
I really think it's a superior platform. Now that's from, I would say, from the viewpoint of a viewer. I like the way Mixer looks. I like the way the interaction. I just think they've really kind of leaped ahead. But I like Twitch too, and I like that it's Amazon owned company, and I really like Amazon. I do a ton of shopping through Amazon. I like that company. So, but it doesn't mean I'm going to stay to Twitch just because Amazon owns it. And, I'm going to go watch stuff wherever. I watch stuff on YouTube. I watch stuff on Mixer. I don't usually watch Twitch because I'm usually on Mixer, but doesn't mean if someone I wanted to watch was on Twitch that I wouldn't watch them. That's just ridiculous. So.
Yeah. Try something new. Maybe you'll like it. That's what we say. All right. Here, just moving on. We'll try to. We've been going for almost an hour here. We got only through half the topics. Let's kind of tear through the rest of these here.
Chop chop.
I know, right? So there's a couple of additions.
I want dinner, man.
Yeah, right. There's a couple additions to Game Pass. These games are dropping on the 13th, I think it was. I can't find it right now. I think it was the 13th. Bard's Tale Trilogy and Wasteland 30th Anniversary Edition. And then, where was this? I thought there were some more titles dropping. We'll get to them later if it comes up here. Maybe I closed it out. But where was that? Oh, another game that just came to the Xbox is Pandemic. So Pandemic is a tabletop game, aka board game, that came out about 10 years ago or so. It's one of the first cooperative games where you're trying to cure diseases that are spreading from city to city. So you and a bunch of other doctors, scientists, and so forth are trying to find cures and cure the city. As soon as you eradicate one city, another one might have an outbreak that might actually reinfect the city you just cured. So it's not a super easy game. It's one of those things where you lose occasionally. You don't always win. But it's been out on tablets, Android, iOS, and so forth for years now. And it's finally coming over to the Nintendo Switch and Xbox One. And I believe it's already out. If it hasn't, then it should be out soon. I saw this over while I was at Gen Con. So very cool to get another digital adaptation of a board game. So it's joining Carcassonne and a couple others, Ticket to Ride. Although I think those have been sunsetted a long time ago because they've been out for quite a while. Then, have you touched Anthem lately, Mark?
No, dude, I have not actually.
Well, they finally came out with Cataclysm. What, 3, 4, 5 months late now?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta go check that out.
So it's finally live after being pushed back, yeah, from May to an undisclosed date. So BioWare announced update 1.3, which officially releases it, and there's several new features included with the event, inversions, gameplay modifiers that change the challenges you face in the Cataclysm. There's leaderboards. The Cataclysm is a scored mode, and players will have a chance to earn high scores and place on a global leaderboard. Seasonal currency, competing in Cataclysm challenges, will reward players with minor and major crystals, which they can spend in the seasonal store. And the seasonal store, a new store with limited time rewards, which can be purchased with seasonal money. And that's interesting that this thing was delayed by a couple months because they were supposed to come out with, was it quarterly updates? They had that big timetable, right? This was the game, right?
Wasn't this one the one that was like 90 days, like
Yeah.
of content? It was like, so the first 3 months were supposed to have content, and then they had all kinds of problems at launch, and the game didn't do very well, which I don't understand. This game was a ton of fun. Um, and it's even improved. They've done a lot of improvements now, so like you don't have to go back and forth through the town. You can go get your mission and then go launch right from there, and don't have to walk all the way back to your javelin. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they made a lot of changes. I completely forgot about that. I've been caught up in something else, but I definitely will go back to see what's new.
So when this information got released that Cataclysm was out, what struck me immediately was, is this the last hurrah for the game?
It's very possible.
Because the game came out and then EA monkeyed with it. I mean, this is a prime example of where these publishers, or even in television, TV studios or networks, when they monkey with something, it usually goes bad. I mean, look at what they did. Remember that video TV show? Oh, what the heck was it? With that ship, Serenity. Do you
Firefly.
Firefly, that was it.
Yeah.
I was thinking fire, but I can't remember what the rest of it was. I had a brain fart here. So Firefly, Fox monkeyed with it and played all the episodes out of order. So there was no continuing storyline. And guess what? It gets canceled after like 10 episodes, 9 episodes, whatever it was. Same here. EA pulled some monkey business, right? When they were,
Yep.
when this game was releasing, and I think to the detriment of the game. And now Cataclysm was supposed to be out 3 months ago. Technically, this was supposed to be the second release, right? The second event storyline release, approximately in August.
But I honestly don't even remember.
Yeah.
I know there was supposed to be a bunch of content, and everything just got kind of scrapped and delayed or whatnot. But
there were rumors of developers being pulled, and this thing coming out 3 months late screams to me that there isn't the development behind it. So are they just doing this just to kind of say, well, we promised it, we'll give you something?
I mean, the content was probably pretty much, I'd imagine when the game released, the stuff had to be pretty close to being done. So I don't know, spend the money to get it completed. I mean, they fixed the game. The thing is typical again. EA pushed them, pushed the developer, push it out right now. And anyone watching the stream can see my dog chasing his tail in the background.
Yeah, we heard him barking a little while ago.
Yeah. Um, but anyways, EA, as they often do, they think they know better than the devs, and they try to push stuff out, and it fails. They fall flat on their face because it's not ready. It's had to be changed. Stuff had to be ripped out. But uh, you know, from what I've heard, I think that this game is pretty much done. So, I mean, I completely forgot about it, to be honest. I really enjoyed it. I like the game a lot. I'm glad there's new content. Uh, but I think you're right. This is probably the last. Well, we had this, and the PR of not releasing it would probably be worse than the amount of money that they're going to put into it to just get it out the door and say that they did what they promised. Um, but then again, maybe this could revitalize the game and maybe bring in new people and maybe save it too at the same time. I would like to see this game survive. It is a really fun game, and I think it didn't deserve the timely death it got. So
Are you pressing that squeaky toy with your feet? You like the
no,
feel of it?
he's behind me.
I see and hear. Yeah. Also, I'm curious to see if there's going to be an update following this one. I think that ultimately, what BioWare probably got screwed in the whole situation with EA,
Yeah,
and there's talk about BioWare already working on a new Dragon Age game. Maybe that's where they're putting all their efforts into. Don't look in the past. Look towards the future. And forget about everybody in the past. You already got their money.
yeah, that happens.
Yep.
So
So then, lastly, there's a couple of games that are going to be leaving Game Pass soon. That includes Castle Storm, Graveyard Keeper, Joe Danger Special Edition, Joe Danger 2, the movie, Monday Night Combat, N Plus, Spelunky, Toy Soldiers, Toy Soldiers Cold War. A lot of those are 360 games, or actually, I think all those are 360 games except for Graveyard Keeper. So all those will be making an exit and will surely be replaced soon by something else. Hopefully, a game that we'll want to play. And that's about it for the roundtable then. Moving on to the community section. You can leave us a voicemail at thisxboxlife.com. Click on the send a voicemail widget on the right-hand side of the screen, approximately in the middle. You can leave a voicemail up to 90 seconds in length. If you want to leave us something longer, you can do an MP3 recording and send it to contact at thisxboxlife. And this week, we got a message from a longtime friend of the show, Catflap 1970, and here is his message.
Good morning, guys. Catflap 1970 here from the UK. Welcome back, Wingman. Nice to hear your voice back on the show again. So, exciting times for next year by the sounds of it. 2020 with Xbox releasing whatever it's called, the new console thing. That's going to be a change, isn't it? We're obviously going to be having streaming and all this new type of stuff, a PC hidden in a console, perhaps. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen there? But it's exciting times, and I will be getting one because it's always exciting to have new products. Still playing Far Cry New Dawn. Still haven't completed it yet, but working towards that. Red Dead Redemption is awaiting in the wings. I don't know why I bought that when it came out, because like 6 months later, I still haven't played it. Also, buying retro consoles at the moment, gentlemen. Must be getting old, middle-aged thing. Bought all of old consoles, putting them on my wall to be displayed. Maybe it's because I'm getting old. Who knows? It's always good to hear you guys on the show. Some of the points you put across about the gaming and the new consoles and stuff is exactly what I'm thinking. It's nice to hear my thoughts coming through you guys, obviously because we're all of a similar age. Great show, guys. Keep up the good work. Always fun to listen to you.
Hey, thanks for the message, Catflap. And I'm kind of in the same boat. Red Dead Redemption. Not only did I buy it like right away, but I lost interest in it immediately. I guess. I guess that's a sentiment of a bunch of us here. I think Mark, you're kind of the same way. You got tired of petting your horse.
Exactly.
Too much real life. Maybe that's a bad thing.
Yep.
It was innovative. I guess experiment for them to do some of that stuff, but just not my thing. And then
I'm curious if it actually how it did compared to the original. Like I don't think it has the legs to like the first one did. I don't know. I could be wrong.
yeah, the publisher will know, but
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll share it with us. But it seems to have faded into obscurity now, right?
It
Nobody
does.
really
It really
talks
does.
about it very much because they're all talking about Fortnite instead.
That's right. The only game that matters.
Yeah. And then, you mentioned getting the retro consoles. And I think that's something you can identify with to some degree, right? With your
Yeah.
little mini arcade
I got a new one in
boxes.
today too.
Oh, yeah. What'd you get?
I got the Rolling Thunder.
Rolling Thunder. Is that
Here,
the
let
boat?
me
Is that the boat
hold
one?
keep talking.
So Mark is getting up to show everybody here on camera which the new one is. What these are is they're the little. There's two kinds of little arcade cabinets. There's the really small. I'll call them micro cabinets that are just a couple inches tall, and the ones that
There you
he's. Those are what about 6 inches tall, approximately? I think, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think that these are 6 inch tall.
Can you hold that back up to the cam again?
Trying to get
It's
without the. There we go.
Yeah.
Trying to get the glare of the.
Yeah, my
But this
arcade,
is-
Rolling Thunder.
Yeah, I've got
A bunch of
14 of these. I've got every one they've put out so far, with the exception of there's one that's like I think it's Data East collection, and it's got a bunch of games on it, and it's like $100, but it's the
Oh,
same
wow.
size as these. I
Sure.
didn't buy that one. Each of these are roughly $15 a piece. Yeah, 15. I think if you buy them at Walmart, you can get them for $15-20. So
Yeah, I saw them
But
at
they're
Walmart
cool.
a couple weeks ago.
they're neat. They're I really like them. They do work. Um, and it's got the artwork of the cabinet, so it looks like the original arcade cabinet. The joystick and the buttons do work. If you take it out of the box, it's got a screen that you peel off, a little sticker off the screen, but you plug a USB cable into it or batteries, and you can play it. It has the sounds and everything. They're playable. But I've decided I had them out, and then when I moved, I put them all back in, and I really think they look cool in the box. Because the box adds additional neat artwork.
Yeah, it's like a cube or a rectangle.
So I don't know. I've got them on display, and they're cool. It's just I don't know. It just reminds me of back when I was a kid. This truly speaks to me.
Oh yeah, and on our Facebook group, you posted that video of them all running at the same time, and it does have that arcade sound that I remember from being
Yeah.
little. It's when I used to go to Aladdin's Castle, which
So
they had all over the malls here.
So here's what it says about Rolling Thunder. Assume the role of secret Albatross and to rescue fellow agent Lila Blitz from the fearsome criminal organization Geldra. This classic arcade game is an exhilarating side-scrolling shoot-'em-up adventure that is as exciting today as it was when it was first released in 1986. It's cool. Fun stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm looking here. Micro Arcade. No, that's the wrong one.
My Arcade.
My Arcade.
But they're micro players.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there is a mic. Looks like there is a Micro Arcade. They're even smaller.
yes.
They look like little LCD screen games.
Yeah, and so there is another one, and you can pick them up at Walmart, Target, and stuff like that too. And you can pick up stuff like Cubert and different like Centipede, which aren't in these yet. But they're a lot smaller. They feel more like trinkets. Where this to me really has that nostalgia collectible feel to it. This really does have like this feels like there's some weight to it. Um, this is worth the money. Where the other ones are just cheap, and they might be playable, but they're just not as good in my opinion. I really love these My Arcade micro consoles
Because
or micro players.
yeah, it looks like My Arcade has mini players, micro players, pocket players.
Yeah, these are the micro players, and they're cool. I really dig them. They're just neat.
Oh, it's a Data East mini player. That's the one you must have been talking
That's
about.
the one I don't have. That's expensive.
Yeah, 35 games on it.
Yeah, you're paying for them.
Oh, like, it's got Karate Champ. I remember that one. Two Crude Dudes. Heavy Barrel.
I have Heavy Barrel alone already.
Burger Time. Yeah.
I got that one too.
Good stuff.
But
And that one's 2.3 pounds in the package, so I wonder if it's taller.
Yeah.
Oh, 4.25 screen.
yeah, it's got a little bit bigger screen than these others. So the specs, let's see, I think it tells me on this one. Well, maybe it doesn't. But I do believe if you look on their website that the screen, I think, on that one is a little larger. So I think it's a tad bigger than this.
Here, let's see.
Oh, I better mute again. He's back on his toy.
Yes, he's done chasing his tail. Yeah, the micros have a 2.75 inch screen versus a 4.25. So not quite double the size, but close. So Cat Flap, I don't know if these are available out in the UK, but you might want to check them out. It's myarcadegaming.com. And they have a whole bunch of different ones out there. So thanks for that recording. Pleasure as always to hear your sultry voice from across the pond. All right, then moving on. We also have a Twitter account which we post when the show gets released. Also, we have a Facebook group. That's a group that you can join on Facebook. Just search for This Xbox Life or go to thisxboxlife.com/Facebook. It'll take you there. It's a closed group, so you have to ask for access to the group. Just answer 2 simple questions and you're in. We just do that to keep the spammers out. And then that's about it for that. On to this week's retail releases. If I can find my window here to actually play the tune. All right, here we go.
I could just sing it. Okay, Rob.
No. Be quiet. I'm going to mute you.
Okay, Rob, what you got for us today? What you got for us to play? Give us a list of games that we can buy and play. Okay, Rob.
Much better. I think people would rather listen to your dog's squeaky toy rather than you or me singing.
What?
Speak of the devil. There he goes. Does he do that on cue? I think he does. All right. This week's retail releases. This is for the week of August 6th through the 9th. We've got a couple of things we talked about a little while ago. Age of Wonders Planetfall that released today. That one is Xbox One X enhanced. Also dropping today was Metal Wolf Chaos XD. Tomorrow we have Animus Standalone, Sagebrush, The Forbidden Arts, Mustache Amigos, Damsel. On the 8th, we have Subdivision, Infinity DC, and on the 9th, Roar, Jurassic Edition. So it looks, look from these titles over here, looks like Age of Wonders, Planetfall is probably the shiny penny of the bunch. But all of those you can find throughout the week. A couple of those, Animus Standalone is Play Anywhere, and Subdivision Infinity DC is Xbox One X Enhanced. Well, along with Age of Wonders Planetfall. That one is as well. Okay, and Games with Gold. We have continuing on the Xbox One X Big Crown Showdown. And I forgot to update this list. Do you remember what the other thing was for August?
I do not know.
Let me look it up. Excuse the typing. My keyboard is very loud.
Yeah, one of those like mechanical
So,
ones.
yeah, I've got,
Are you sure?
yeah.
Uh-oh. Mixer went down.
Yeah, it's back up now.
Twitch is down. YouTube is still playing.
Yeah, it might be delayed. I don't know how long it was down for, but we'll find out. So just in case, I'll repeat the back compat titles or the Games with Gold titles. We have Gears of War 4, August 1st through the 31st, and then Torchlight. That's the back compat title through the 15th. And the continuation game is Big Crown Showdown, going through the middle of August. Yeah. Then lastly, if you make any purchase on Amazon, consider using our affiliate link. You can find that on our Facebook group at the top or on thisxboxlife.com. Just click on Amazon in there. Bookmark it if it's easier. It's a thumbs up way to do it. So you can use that affiliate link each and every time you make your purchases. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but it helps us out a lot because we get a tiny finder's fee for sending you their way. And then also if you're an iTunes user, like so maybe after you downloaded Mixer on your iDevice recently, you could go into the iTunes store and give us a review. 5 stars is greatly appreciated. The more reviews that we get on there, the higher we get bumped in the rankings. Also follow us on Mixer, Twitch, and YouTube. And if you're a Twitch, Amazon Prime Mega subscriber, send us your free subscription every month. Don't forget, that only lasts a month, so you do have to renew it the following month. And then, as always, thanks to Learn Your Lesson for the music.
Absolutely.
So that is it for episode 538. My name is Rob, also known as Presar. Catch you all next week.
I'm Mark, aka Wingman 709, taking off.
And here's the cue for your dog to do his squeaky toy. But I guess he won't do it. Squeak, squeak.
He's just looking at me.
Yeah, he's done tired chasing his tail, as we got to see him doing circles a little while ago, and then he went back to his squeaky toy.
He's still chewing on it. It's just not squeaking it. He's chewing on it.
He chewed the squeak out of it. All right, folks, catch y'all next week.